Alright, now this stupid thing should be working, so sorry about that, you guys, but apparently this one time that I actually had a decent shot at getting a whole bunch of viewers, I managed to screw it up because, yeah, I don't even know what happened, but whatever did happen, it's over now, and Anthos and Shorthand. Sorry about that, you guys. How you doing?
No, no problem. Doing well. How about you, Shorthand?
You guys are just
Well,
spamming my
I'm
chat
doing good
here.
actually. Like pretty much today has been HoN Tour matches, which I always enjoy, especially watching it after being done with your own game. So I'm always really excited for the weekend, just for
Absolutely.
these types of things. Yeah,
Yeah.
Now,
simple as
Shorthand,
that.
for people who don't know much about you, who are you in the HoN community?
I am. I don't know. I'm quite invisible at sometimes, but I've been around for quite a while, jumping around from team to team. Never really been in such big teams before, but now I'm hoping to go to Diamond pretty much this cycle with Prime Icarus. Quite some decent players on there, good players that have been in Diamond, so I'm really excited for that.
Right on.
Yeah.
And what
Yeah.
about you, Anthos? Who are you?
I recently started writing for HoN Tour. I manage a very active 1750 plus clan, and I have a team currently in the Silver Division. For Carnage and Calavar, we got 6th place, but since then we've reformed several times, and I think I finally have a solid 5 players who are in it to win it. And you will see us in gold by next weekend, ladies and gentlemen. So, or 2 weekends from now. Sorry. That's what
Another
I
team to
got.
look out for. Another team to look out for. I swear. Acid Squirrel Squad, right?
Yes. And for those of
Yes.
you who don't know Quincy, he is the human calculator, ladies and gentlemen. He's got stats left and right. Quincy, anything you want to say about yourself?
I'm just really upset that I'm surrounded by these idiots, basically. It could be going so much better for me. I had such plans, and yet here I am with the two of you.
Anyway, so going to the game, we have a Silhouette first pick for You Love to Party. Do you think that's too greedy? I think it's too greedy.
I do. I think it says a lot about your draft right from the start. You're definitely going to send Silhouette short lane carry. I prefer picks that kind of don't reveal much, support picks, things like Kraken, Bubbles.
Magnets.
Jungle picks are pretty
Yes.
strong first because most teams run a jungle. So, Ophelia first pick, Parasite, whatever it might be. Those are strong. But short lane carry picks are usually saved for last. So I don't agree with that pick as far as the first pick is.
Yeah, but then on the other side, it just shows like Bubbles first pick. You can go anywhere with that. You can put it solo short, you can put it long lane solo, you can put it solo mid. Although it does say you're gonna have a solo, every single game has a solo. So that's really not saying anything.
Right.
Right. I like Bubbles as a first pick. I think that he's quite the underrated hero, and he's a great counter to a lot of heroes. I think his ultimate's also very strong against Silhouette.
No doubt, and the silence as well. Let's do bans too. I don't know if you guys talked about that at all, but Swiftblade, Ophelia, Parasite, and Cthulhu. I've cleared my chat actually, so Cthulhu from YLTP and Swiftblade from Panny, but who banned Parasite and Oph? I assume it was YLTP banning Oph, because I don't think they play that.
Right.
No, it's Penny banned Ophelia.
Really?
And YLTP banned
The Parasite?
the.
Yeah, must have been
Yes,
Parasite.
yeah, the Parasite for
Right.
sure.
That's kind of
And
surprising to me. Does YLTP play Ophelia? I don't think I've seen them do that before. I don't know if either of you guys know.
well, I mean, the gold teams they don't really know each other just yet. I mean, it's
Yeah.
only the second cycle in this game, so these two teams might have never met each other or never even scrimmed against each other.
Very
So,
possible.
I find Ophelia a fine ban just because
Yep.
that hero is still strong.
And it's much better than what we've seen some other games in Gold Division with really, really strange bans. No doubt 4 heroes
Oh.
right there that are quite powerful and worthy of being taken out early on. But Magmus will be the follow-up there, so Entho's favorite hero. That's good for him.
Agreed.
And then there's my favorite hero in Rhapsody, third picked there. Surprising it actually made it all the way there. But I like the Legion lineup so far, really. Kraken, good game potential. Rhapsody obviously one of the strongest supports, pretty much the strongest support right now in Silhouette. Excellent hard carry, so they could put Rhapsody mid with Crack. They could put her in the short lane and have her babysit. Hellborn have a couple of really strong initiator type heroes, but no real carry potential quite yet. And I'm a little concerned about that. I don't know. What are you guys thinking about their Hellborn lineup so far? Third picks? What do you think?
I like the Rhapsody pickup quite a bit. I think it is by far the strongest support in the game. But you got to look at this Hellborn draft. They have a Bubbles and a Magnus already. Bubbles, Silence, and Ulti are great counters to Rhapsody, which she needs to channel her ultimate. So those are both very strong heroes to counter her ultimate. Her position needs to be prime. She needs to get in there exactly the right time to get her ultimate off. But Bubbles and Magnus, I mean, all 5 of these heroes so far are extremely strong heroes in the meta right now. Especially Magnus, especially Silhouette, and Rhapsody. Heroes that you see in nearly every game, whether they're banned or picked. So both teams clearly know what they're doing as far as drafting is concerned, and I'm really curious to see how these teams end up.
Yeah, and you wouldn't even expect anything less really from Panny, who's a guy that's been around the scene for a really, really long time. Definitely a guy that can draft quite fine. And YLTP, if you don't know them, they have been a team for a very long time actually. With this roster, I think they've been around with for about 6 months at least. They were in HoN Tour Season 2 Diamond Division towards the end. They were in the playoffs. They did fairly well, actually, and I was expecting some good things coming out of them after the HoN Tour Season 2 playoffs, but really sort of fell off and have been in gold now for a few cycles. They will be in gold again in Cycle 3, so we'll be looking to cover them there. But Polywog Priest, the 3rd pick, I love that hero. And I'd like to see it played as a support, but I don't know, thoughts on Polywog, Shuriken?
Well, like, what I love about Polywog's support is that even if you don't get any farm on him, once you get level 6, you're still going to have the wards. So it's going to be like, oh look, I might be a Polywog, but I'm going to push this tower with just 1 creep wave. You know? It's that easy. So they really need to watch out for the counter pushes coming up from the Polywog, while, you know, Bubbles and Magnus, I mean, they're really great at defending, so it could easily be that the Polywog just solos towers.
Yeah, and against the Silhouette, too, I think that's the big thing, is the Hex is going to auto-kill the Illusion, and then he's got another CC tool, plus the nuke to take off the Nullstone if he needs to. And Silhouette, definitely a hero that relies on her mobility. If she gets locked down for a few seconds, she can die very, very quickly. So it's going to be difficult, I feel like, for the Silhouette to contend with a Polywog Priest. They're going to have to pick him off relatively early, and he should, of course, sit in the back. But bans are out here. Revenant, Puppet Master, and Engineer getting taken out by the guys on YLTP side. Pharaoh, Kronos, and the Madman banned out for Hellborn. So they're really targeting that suicide lane there with Pharaoh, Kronos, and Madman. All very popular and strong suicide heroes. Legion side a little bit more focused on the support options, but not convinced Polywog won't be a support. Obviously, Puppet Master much more of a carry hero. So either of you guys think, have any thoughts about these bans?
As far as the bans go, no. I like this Hellborn draft a lot so far. I think that this Hellborn lineup with these 3 heroes have great initiation and counter initiation. I mean, that's tons of CC, tons of silence. It's going to be hard to contend with, man. I mean, these next couple picks from the Legion have to be pretty strong in order to fight that.
Yeah. Sure can.
What I do like about the Hellborn draft, right now is that they can still go in any direction that they want to, except for tri-laning, because Polywog doesn't do too well in those situations. But, I mean, they can still pick up a jungler because Tempest isn't banned, and if they really want to go for a Solstice, they can also do that, but I wouldn't suggest that. And it just seems to me that the Hellborn have a very specific plan in mind, and it might turn out to surprise YLTP, because it's always possible with the 3 heroes that they have right now to pick up a Dark Lady and just go for the ultimate hard carry.
Right. I think they can tri-lane still if they want to. I mean, they could solo the Polywog and tri-lane the Magnus.
Yeah, true that.
So, if they pick up a couple of supports here.
Yeah.
And there's one, so... Yeah, I think the tri-lane is very much still in play here for the Hellborn side. I doubt it goes through, just because I do expect that Polywog to be a support. I feel like they just picked him up for his CC tools against the Silhouette, which is fine. But, I agree, like, I think it's probably not going to be a tri-lane. I just think the opportunity is open.
My main thing with the whole Polywog solo is that they have a Magnus, Bubbles, and Poly as their core, and that's not going to do well against the Silhouette.
Right. I mean, there's no late game potential there. It's win by 25 minutes or you lose, basically. Yeah, that's definitely a good point. So, 4th pick, Prisoner, here on the Legion side, and then the Hellborn are going to follow that up with an Empath. Notable that Hellborn only have 6 seconds of extra time left, as they've used a lot on extra picks and bans. So, Legion side not really forcing them into using it. They're using up a lot of their own extra time, giving Panty some more time to make a decision here. And I'd like to see them be a little faster on the choice, because then that can pressure Panty into making perhaps a panic choice. But it will be the Keeper of the Forest, 5th pick, and I like that a lot, actually, because I'm a big fan of Keeper in general, and especially the Keeper Rhapsody combination. So all of a sudden, they have a lot of push potential on this Legion side. That's going to be able to counter Polywog Priest and those wards.
I was already wondering why Penny was actually banning suicides when they had a Kraken.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I agree with that.
Because, I mean, Kraken was already picked up, and
Yep.
Kraken is not the best mid hero, and that's a Valkyrie. Immediate ready up for Marcus Moore as well. I have not seen Marcus play this, actually, and he's actually known for his silhouette, so we'll see how this goes.
Yeah.
Interesting last pick. We don't see Valkyrie very often in these high-level games, do we?
No, but
Not at all.
I gotta say, I'm all in here on iRex because Polywog Priest and Valkyrie are two heroes that I think have very, very underrated potential. And they have way, way more capability than people think, and they just don't get picked up. So, I don't know. I'd like iRex to win just to justify my insane beliefs about, you know, heroes that are underrated at this point, but at the same time, it's pretty hard to argue against the power of this Legion side. They've got really, really powerful initiators with Kraken, Kraken, Keeper of the Forest, and Prisoner. A couple of strength heroes in the front lines for Silhouette. It's going to be really hard for them to get beyond that and all the CC that they can provide to actually kill that Sil. So, I don't know. This Legion side has just got such a good draft. And Hellborn, they're a little off the wall. I like their off-the-wall choices, but they're definitely not going traditional here.
Definitely. I mean, if you look at the last pick, I mean, Valkyrie, you think of her, you don't really think of hard carry, but they're definitely going to run her as a carry this game. I would hope so. And, I mean, the Valkyrie ult plus the arrow, those are also huge initiation tools. This Hellborn team has ridiculous initiation, but on the same note, this Legion team has awesome counter initiation. We're talking Keeper ulti, Kraken ulti, Rhapsody ulti, Prisoner, bunch of physical damage, great for holding heroes in place. And I'm really curious to see how these team fights will play out because, you know, I like both of these team lineups. One of them is very heavy in magic damage, the other one really heavy in physical damage, and I want to see how You Love to Party fares against Instant Reflex.
Yeah, I mean, like, the only concern I really have in these team fights is they're so tanky with the Prisoner, the Kraken, and the Keeper, especially with the Keeper armor there on top of that. So they're just naturally tanky, and you're going to have a bunch of increased armor. That's going to help against those physical damage from the poly wards. So, Bubbles as a jump hero really likes to pick off squishies, but he's not going to do very well against like a Kraken, you know, even with his kelp field. I'm just concerned the damage output from the Hellborn team isn't going to be high enough to kill these heroes, and then at the very least to not kill them or to kill them before they can get their ultimates off. And when that counter jump happens, like you're talking about, that counter initiation potential is off the charts. Is the Hellborn going to be able to survive? I kind of doubt it. They're squishy. Yeah.
I think it all depends really on the laning phase, because if the Hellborn do really well in the laning phase, those tanky heroes aren't going to really mean much because they're going to have such a huge advantage, and Magnus will get really good initiation and Bubbles will get really good initiation with the PK and such. So that's really what they have to ride on, because Keeper is not the best early. He does get 6 relatively quickly in the woods, but yeah, he doesn't help, and actually mid.
Yeah, Silhouette can jump there a little bit, but has plenty of opportunity for a tree grapple, just not enough follow-up from Magnus and Empath. And they're actually going to rotate here. So is this going to be a support Magnus? Is that what we're seeing here? I think so. Yeah, I think it's a roaming support Magnus.
It's all in the boots.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the Poly is actually soloing, like you said.
Yeah. I'm really iffy on this. I feel like Poly would have been just fine as a support here, just to pick off that Silhouette, and actually Rhapsody here could be in some trouble. Hook back onto Polywog Priest. Maybe they're trying to counter this with a beautiful Empath wall. There's a pretty easy kill right off the bat, and Polywog will be able to get on there just fine. So the hook, a little annoying, but he'll be okay. I mean, I don't like the idea of Polywog getting a bunch of farm and then basically being used entirely to shut down the Silhouette. Like, it's fine if he's doing that because he's a support, because it's, you know, I'm trading a support for a carry. But does he really need to be short laned here? Like, I don't know.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, while this Legion team has great shutdowns, great ultimates, great things to keep heroes in place, that Silhouette is the source of almost all their damage. They need to keep that Silhouette alive so that their heroes can get the kills necessary in order to win this game. And if this Hellborn team can jump Silhouette and kill her before a team fight starts, this Legion team is going to be in trouble.
I'm going to disagree with you about that. I mean, Kraken hits hard, man. Especially with those splash autos. He does a fair bit of magic damage. And if Prisoner can get up in your face, especially with a couple of abilities on cooldown, he can get plus 60%, plus 90% base damage. Those right clicks from those heroes are going to be very, very powerful. It's just a question of, can they consistently get up in there?
Right, and that's the problem. I mean, with all the CC on this Hellborn team, auto-attacking isn't out of the question, but it's going to be very difficult for these heroes to do.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely true. Then again, do you really need that many more damage sources than Silhouette?
Well, that's debatable. We'll go into that later.
Yeah. I don't know. If you can lock people down for Sil, I feel like that's all the damage you need in terms of right clicks. But
Right. I'm really surprised they put Silhouette mid. I wasn't expecting these lanes at all from the Legion team. And Silhouette's not farming well, man. I mean, he's below 200 GPM. Bubbles is at 285, so Bubbles is just absolutely destroying him in this middle lane. Not what you want, man. Especially with their draft, I really think they should have put Silhouette bottom with that Rhapsody to support her.
I mean, Silhouette is now going to get chased down here. Magma's not quite going to be able to find an angle. Actually, True Grapple goes through. He's got the boots, and Silhouette does not. So that's nice for him, but additional move speed from that True Grapple, of course, he will be just fine. And now, to just completely force out of lane here, is level 4, but 192 GPM. I don't know what they thought the lanes were going to be, but it must not have been this, because there's absolutely no reason you would put a Silhouette mid when he could be free, or she could be free-farming bot against the Valkyrie, essentially. And Kraken's getting boxed out of bottom lane. So, I don't know, like, I feel like they need to switch these lanes up.
Right. I think that their laning decisions were pretty poor. Valkyrie Suicide, I'm surprised to see that. I didn't think that Valkyrie would be bot, but I mean, she is versing a solo Kraken and Marcus Moy farming just about 300 GPM, so not bad at all from this Valkyrie.
Marcus Moy is their typical carry player, so it is a different role for him, no doubt. And yeah, seems to be adapting just fine, as Kraken was for solo lane. And yeah, sorry.
I think it comes down to the fact that they were really scared to face the tri-lane, because Magnus plus Valkyrie plus Empath could actually be a really, really strong tri-lane, and Silhouette would not get free farm against that, because there's enough setup with the Magnus for the Valkyrie arrow every single time, and with that amount of lockdown, Silhouette's not going to get anything down at bottom. So I think that's where the logic was from put Silhouette middle. He might be able to beat Bubbles, but then again, Bubbles is really good against, really good in 1v1 situations, especially against the Silhouette.
Right. I mean, it's a squishy hero, it's pretty easy to kill him, so.
And going back to that Polywog Priest, by the way, that pick, if you wanted to really counter Silhouette, why not go for the Witch Slayer then? Because he has 2 skills to instantly kill the illusion with or counter the Nullstone. The Mana Drain, which costs 10 mana, insta-kills illusions, and the Morph also does the same thing. It's a lot more expensive to use, but I feel that that hero is also a lot better solo, also against 2 because of the AoE stuns and such.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a good point. I think perhaps the only issue is that they felt like they wanted a little more pushing potential. I mean, the Hellborn side at this point has absolutely no pushing potential, really, outside of that Polywog Priest. And with the Rhapsody on the board, that's just natural push. And then, of course, the Keeper, they didn't know that was going to happen, but with the Keeper coming out as well, that was a bit of an issue. Kraken, yeah, he's getting jumped on there, and he's going to be in a lot of trouble there. A couple more autos will finish him up, but he's pretty damn tanky. And meanwhile, up top, actually, they do get the kill onto Rhapsody. I missed that because I've been watching Kraken this whole time. Valk jumping forward. They really want this last kill. Charge forward. Yeah, that's that little javelin, though.
Oh!
Yeah. Charge does not disjoint auto attacks, so...
Wow.
That's painful.
It was unfortunate for the Kraken because his charge was interrupted midway by the Magnus stun.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it was well played from Magnus or just lucky at that point, because I mean, can you really time it that well? The Kraken charge is pretty fast, you know. But well played nonetheless.
And middle lane actually Silhouette gonna die, as that's exactly what's gonna happen. Like, and this is the thing that's getting me is, okay, you're right. Like they should have been afraid of the tri lane, and that was a legitimate concern. It was a good counter strategy to the tri lane. Once the tri lane didn't happen, they needed to rotate Silhouette back to bottom lane, because I don't know why they would expect her to beat a Bubbles in middle. Like, that just makes absolutely no sense to me. Bubbles is going to crush Silhouette. He's got way too much burst magic off the bat. He's got too much lockdown. He can silence her so she can't tree grapple or port to her illusion or use her illusion. And yet, Silhouette keeps going back to this middle lane. So, at the very least, put Rhapsody here. Like...
Right. Yeah.
I really just would have liked to see a Kraken suicide, because when you have two supports like they do on the Hellborn side, it's very possible for them to just go tri-lane.
Yeah.
Like with Magnus being one of them. Actually,
Lane actually,
Polywog getting hooked.
as Polywog gonna get killed, but he'll get the counter kill onto Prisoner as he gets the word trap off, and just those last autos help him to finish him off. So ulti for ulti, and slightly in favor of Prisoner there as he managed to get the kill and the experience as opposed to just the kill gold there for Polywog Priest. Also dropping the wards there, cannot push this tier 1 tower either, so that's a pretty nice advantage for the guys in YLTP, because that ulti is going to be on cooldown now for 96 more seconds, and like I said, there's most of their push potential, so any tower they wanted to take early on is now impossible.
What a great response from Polywog, getting him in that ward trap before he died.
And Kraken going to fall once again at the bottom lane. He's going to try to charge. Nope, can't even charge. Doesn't have a... I don't know why he didn't charge there. Did you not have enough mana? Am I crazy?
He had full mana.
That's what I thought. And it was not on cooldown, so...
Yeah, I don't know why Kraken was there. He was trying to edge around those trees. Well, that's not even where the creeps were, so he wouldn't be getting experience right there. Maybe he was trying to... I don't know. I mean, he couldn't kill Valkyrie by himself, clearly. I mean, he's only level 6. Valkyrie's level 8 now. But
well,
still...
Valk's out of mana, I guess.
Right. Well, now she is, but before that she had enough for an arrow and a call to Valkyrie.
That's true.
So, interesting choice from Kraken. I think he should have just played it safe in his lane, stuck close to his tower, because Magnus and Valkyrie, that's a deadly combination. You have a guaranteed stun with another arrow to follow up that stun, so not the smartest choice coming out from Kraken.
Top lane, they do see the gank incoming, as Bubbles had the Invin's rune, but this ward of sight here from Smithix obviously spotting it out. They know exactly where he went, but they dropped a nice lane ward here from Panny, and now they see Kraken come up to this top lane, so they know exactly what the rotation is going to be from the Legion side. And Polywog Priest is predictably going to back off and not get hooked, because that would likely be a death. So, good ward and good response there from the Hellborn side, but you know, Shuriken, you're saying you want this Kraken suicide. Looks to me like it's a suicide Kraken. I mean, he's got 110 GPM. So, actually, top lane, Valkyrie Prism going off, and the ultimate from Kraken onto 3 heroes there, but there's the counter route as well. Kelpfield on top, Bubbles using the take cover. He looks like he's going to get away. Polywog Priest ward's going down, but not really doing too much. He does tongue tie, and they will kill Rap with the last auto attack, and there goes Keeper as well. So, going to be a 2 for 1, or 3 for 1, 3 for none. Holy crap, did nobody die for the Hellborn? Yep, nobody died for the Hellborn. What am I, crazy?
The Hellborn
The
have
power
destroyed
of
a
Polywog.
Legion tower.
Yeah. Hero's good, man, I'm telling you.
Yeah, that was impressive, man. I mean, even the Keeper roll wasn't enough to bring them down, and while Kraken did end up getting his release of Kraken on 3 people, it only stunned one of those players.
Right.
So, it was well placed, but they just didn't have enough CC to keep them there so that the stun would hit them as well, which is really unfortunate.
And top lane, Magnus actually get hooked back in, and the Shackle on top of him, of course, reveals despite that Steam Bath, so he can't do much of anything. So, yeah, I mean, the lack of CC lockdown from the Legion side, definitely a problem, but I think you called it before, it's just they don't have the damage. I mean, Bubbles got away with how much health? Polywog Priest got hit pretty hard, but he was okay. Empath, they couldn't even kill her. Like, there isn't a significant amount of health on this Hellborn side, and yet they still couldn't kill those heroes, so...
Right. I think Prisoner and Kraken really need to work together. I think Prisoner needs to try to land hooks in every team fight. If he gets it, he can ult immediately, and with that ult off, Kraken can ult right next to him, thus getting the Kraken stun on him, and Prisoner can get his ult for the full duration too. They need that CC if they're going to win these team fights. No doubt about it.
And I kind of want to interrupt because I think, Quincy, you're going to like this. Valkyrie picked up a Thunderclaw first item.
Yeah, she did.
I love it.
After the Steam Boots.
Yes,
I
she
was
did.
so happy to see that. And Magnus. And Empath on Rhapsody.
Rhapsody with a beautiful initiation there. She is going to die for this, I think, because the wall goes in, and here comes a Lava Surge. Not even going to be necessary, actually. She's just going to die. So we might see continued pursuit here from the Hellborn side. Tree Grapple there will connect on the Magnus, but I don't know what Syl thinks she's doing. Eruption going to go off there. No, Tree Ultimate finally does go off, but way late. And he's going to die in silhouette. Obviously, trading Magnus for that is just fine, considering this Magnus is more of support. Bubble is going to get hooked back in thanks to the Shackle. Drops the Kelpfield on just one. And the Kelpfield's done there. Bubble's just barely going to get away, using the Vital Charges to heal on up. And yep, that looks like it might be it. Empath here looking for a wall. Drops a Ward of Sight here off to the side. They do have Dust of Rev on Magnus, but he's not here, obviously. Arrow onto Keeper's face, but that's going to be pretty easy counter kill on Senelex as he can't get the invis off. Keeper was stunned. Kraken Ultimate doing nothing there, pretty much.
And actually, Keeper
Wow.
killing a creep and almost being in trouble now. Magnuson coming
and
with
there
the
goes the dust. So Magnus does come back in, and there's the Essence Link as well on Rhapsody. Double stun onto Polyor and Syl. Syl also looking to fall here. Here comes Kraken's death. Quad kill from Sarah, and not going to get the Annihilation away, but there's a tier 1 tower as well, because the Polywog wards are that awesome. And it's 16-3.
I mean, we're only 12 minutes in, and this Hellborn team is up by 12,000 gold and 10k experience. That is a ridiculous lead for this early in the game. And Polywog is 8-1 with almost 500 GPM. So as you said before, Quincy, like, what a great pickup, and they are definitely playing him to his maximum potential, no doubt about it.
I like the Legion's picks more. I should have gone with my gut. I was like, I love Poly, love Valkyrie. Should have just trusted myself, but apparently I'm not willing to do that. It's too
We'll
bad.
make mistakes sometime with Quincy. It's okay.
I got it sort of right.
PK.
On
I just
what,
want to see the
Poly?
PK on the Polywog.
Yeah.
The PK Poly, just, you know, jump in, ward trap someone, probably not Silhouette because he'll just jump out with either ulti or tree grapple.
Right.
And just completely stomp that one guy into the ground. It's so brilliant to see when that initiation happens because the person who gets initiated on just can't do anything.
Right. Kraken getting
Crack.
on. Oh, man.
Yeah, sorry, I was somebody in damn Twitch chat here. Kraken actually might get away. Nope. Last item from Valkyrie does finish him off. Magnus will be a lot of trouble as the prisoner ulti goes off. Power supply not going to be there to help him. As Bubbles here looking for the kill out of Rhapsody in the background. Tree actually going to catch 2 with his ultimate, but the Kelp Field helped finish her off. And Keeper is invis, but Prisoner is not, and he's going to die here pretty easily.
Absolutely.
So Zudonix on the Keeper of Forest run away, and he'll be okay, but we're at 14 minutes or so right now, and I think this game may not have much time left in it.
I agree. I think that this Legion team's strategy just isn't up to par. I mean, they're trying to pick fights 4v5 while solo at farms, and that's simply not going to happen. I mean, this Hellborn team is so far ahead right now, and picking fights even 5 vs 5 is just out of the question. They need to do everything that they can to push us into the late game, and they're simply not trying to do that at all. They keep picking fights, and it's the wrong decision through and through.
But Enthos, as you say, like, oh, they want to push it into the late game, but really, if the game goes on like this, what are they going to have late game? There's just so much lockdown, and Empath with that Valkyrie is going to be late game.
Yeah.
Right. At this point, what other strategies do they have? I mean, that's their only glimmer of hope.
Yeah, Turtle. Turtle time.
Turtle time.
And they have a decent turtle team as well. Actually, gonna kill on Silhouette here because she's pushed up.
Locks people down.
She's pushed up to the bend here with no vision and no tier 1 tower for support.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. The communication from Instant Reflex is just insane. I mean, it's the kind of communication that you see in Diamond League teams, and they're just exploiting it to the maximum. I mean, the big difference between gold, silver, diamond teams, or diamond among those two, is just like diamond teams communicate effectively. When they decide to roam and get kills, they roam as 5 and they don't leave anyone behind. And YLTP Party simply isn't doing that. They're just, you know, 1 by 1, maybe 3 at a time, and they keep suffering for it.
yeah. I think it comes back down to the initial laning decision over here. Is actually Rhapsody gonna get cut off by Empath. Essence Link goes down there, and Empath with the Illusion Rune is basically saying, "I can solo you, fellow support." And actually, the support comes in from the Legion side. Shackle onto Empath. Hook it will connect just at the end there, but again, Essence Link down there will get inside of Bubbles, and he's just gonna run away. Smithix on the Rhapsody finally does die. 2-man Song of the Sea, and the wall's there as well. Prisoner cannot handle this Bubbles. Dust of Rev goes off. The Keeper ultimate will just allow Prisoner to get away. Let's see if Nighty can get any counter kills. Nope. As there's the wards and the tongue tie. Eruption going on from Magnus in the background. Not really going to do too much. As despite having the portal key, he isn't able to get up in there. Bubbles here in some trouble actually. Will die to the tower. And Empath will pop out, but she's just fine. So GGs are being called 16 minutes in or so, and wouldn't be surprised to see that CC vote come through.
How often do you see a bloodbath polywog?
Every day.
Not often enough.
Whenever I play Polywog,
Oh, right, Quincy. I forgot about that.
I'm so good with Polywog. It's all the time, man.
So yeah, the CC vote's called, but it doesn't look like they're going
Yeah,
through
there it
with
is.
There we go.
So,
okay.
yeah, that was just ugly from YLTP. I think their draft was good. It was their laning phase that was really, really just terrible. But final thoughts on the game, Mentos?
Yeah, ridiculously good teamwork from Instant Reflex. YLTP simply got outplayed at every single turn. Their lanes weren't that good. And hopefully next game they'll fix their errors. What about you, Shortcan?
Well, picking up a Silhouette sets you up for Yeah, you need to go for the late game, but then you get so stomped in the laning phase that it doesn't even matter.
Right.
So don't first pick Silhouette, please. Let this be a message to everyone. Don't first pick Silhouette.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to Shortcan.
That's probably a good idea.
Yeah, it's too transparent.
Alright, so that'll do it here for game 1, and we'll be back with game 2 in just a second. Thank you for a brief.